Hi, this is Andy Damiani. This is another episode of Roundtable Talk. The merged city of Suffolk, all 430 square miles, is both rural and urban, suburban and village. It's agricultural and maritime, and recreational and industrial. It is a merger of tempos and lifestyles, all that is Suffolk, all in one place. Today on Roundtable Talk, the subject is history, and our focus is the Greater Chuckatuck Historical Foundation, one of the many faces of Suffolk. Let's go in and talk to Lynn Rose. Lynn Rose, thank you very much for coming on Roundtable Talk.
I'm glad to be here.
We're in a beautiful church today. This is your church, by the way.
Yes. My family's been in this church for generations. Goes back to, the church was built originally, the first church, in 1642.
And that burned, right?
That either deteriorated or burned, we're not sure, but this particular building is the third church, and it was built in 1755. We just recently had our 250th anniversary for the building.
That's pretty good. This show is all about history, you know.
Yes.
And you're part of it because you're organizing the Greater Chuckatuck Historical Foundation. And y'all getting, I understand you're moving pretty good on it, is that right?
We had our first meeting in February, and we had over 30 people there for the first meeting. Our meetings are running about 25 people, with new people coming in all the time.
So they're coming back, right?
They're coming back, and we're getting new people. So a lot of enthusiasm. We have a wonderful board of directors with people involved who live in the area.
I talked to a lot. I mean to interrupt once in a while, but I did talk to some of them, and they're really enthused about it, you know.
Got some hard workers.
Now, because you got a lot to cover. The history of Greater Chuckatuck goes back when?
Well,
some of
the Indians and before, because you know we don't know how long the Indians have been here. At least I don't know. And we have land formations that indicate it was the Chuckatuck Escarpment that they refer to, showing the rise in the area, a ridge and the marl and so forth. So this was
you're going to capture all that.
We're trying to capture all of it.
And history as told by people who lived here, or their grandmother or grandfather told them, or before. And get it down in writing. Is that what you're trying to do?
We're doing interviews.
Crittenden did that.
Yes, Crittenden did that, and those folks have been wonderful in helping us get through this.
We did a nice show with them because the river binders, because it's part of history was the river, you know.
Yeah. In this area, we're involved with the river, and to some extent, because we have the Nansemond River on one side, we have the Chuckatuck Creek. We also have a lot of farming. It was a chief occupation in this area. And we have the areas we're trying to cover include Everett's, and up beyond Everett's we have...
You live in Everett's.
I live at Everett's and was basically born and raised there.
Right.
Everett's was on the western branch of the Nansemond River, so the creek, what we call the Chuckatuck Creek.
Your water sources are great in Chuckatuck, a lot of water.
That's right. We have the Oakland community, which is adjacent to Chuckatuck. We have Longview, Cotton Farm Lane, Sandy Bottom.
So you got a lot of history.
Reed's Ferry.
Chuckatuck is famous also for its dignitaries that has been born and raised in Chuckatuck.
We have had some dignitaries, and of course are proud of them. Charlie Bird. Just lots of interesting people.
You've been, you know, with his partnership with Governor Godwin, but that's new history.
Yes.
But you're going way back. Now you are collecting some of these things. How are you going to? Are you getting the word out to these people? Hopefully through the show you will also.
Yes.
If they've got some things up in the attic or something, bring it to you.
We have set up an office. It's behind Dr. Thomas's office in the village.
Okay.
And we'll have a scanner there. We will be scanning pictures at various churches. We hope to have meetings every several months where we will be available to do interviews,
yeah, some of this is done
pictures.
Through committees, right?
Yes.
Then.
Yes. So that in that way, we hope to accumulate a lot of information that we don't already have. We want Revolutionary War information. We want Civil War information.
Some of these verbal things, are you putting it in getting and recorded? Some people cannot express themselves that well in writing. They will sit down for a little bit and put a record on, and then you can.
We have a committee of people who are willing to do interviews. We have a list of people to interview. We're in the process of getting that going, so we want to capture as much of that as possible.
You're on the right road.
Well,
but you know, I know you're the president, you're the leader, but you do have a lot of help because you can't do it all by yourself. When you start trying, it doesn't work by yourself.
We have Conrad Haas is my co-chairman.
Yeah, let's cross street.
And Conrad grew up in the Chuckatuck area. Frank Spady is our treasurer. Nancy Pruden as secretary. Sammy Copeland's he's on the board. He's working on our Indian information and on fundraising. And the list, don't want to leave anybody out, but we have a total of 12 board members.
Thus far, what is the most interesting photograph that you have that you can think of?
I think the most interesting is one that I copied from a tintype. It's a Gwatney store, and it was taken prior to 1900. And the sign on the front says Peck's Cheap Store. And it's one of the ones I hope you'll be showing in this interview.
Oh yeah, we got about a half a dozen or so photographs, and they'll be on the screen as we're talking. Not in any order, but they'll be on the screen. Was there any personalities in the pictures? You have pictures of people who.
Well, the ones you'll be seeing today are not, don't concentrate so much on people. We do have a father and two sons in one of the pictures that's taken in Longview. It's the Oliver family among watermelons, and that family has been in the farming industry for generations, and they still are farming. Mm-hmm. And I have one that shows the melons that were being shipped out of Everett's on Everett's Creek. Everett's at one time they had a post office, they had 3 stores. It's just something
people don't realize that some of these villages were really active. I mean, down in Whalerville, the lumber business was great. Things just die away.
Well, I think the early history of the places that were on the water is really so interesting because that's the first place, they're the first places that were settled.
Lynn, we got about a minute, but I'll give you the last word, the last thought. Go ahead.
Well, I want people to talk to each other, come up with stories they can share with us. We have a post office box in Chuckatuck. You can call me. My phone number is 255-4663. And I'll be glad to discuss with you anything you'd like to share. We'll have someone meet with you.
Yeah. And last thought, your family goes back way back. How far?
Well, some of my ancestors were Jamestown settlers and actually lived between Ben's Church and here. The Godwins and the Pitts and the Bridgers. So
I can't wait till you get this in a book and so forth. And anyway, it sounds interesting. Thank you very much for coming on the show.
And thank you for having us.
We've been talking to Lynn Rose. She's president of the Greater Chuckatuck Historical Foundation. And our next guest is also in history, but his is military history. So in a minute, we'll meet Jack Long. So stay with us.